An 11-year-old boy was shot, his dad stabbed in the head and his mum had her throat cut as thugs burst into their East London home after one of them posed as a delivery driver. The terrifying ordeal was described as the sort of crime of our nightmares by prosecutor Alistair Richardson, as the third member of the gang was jailed for 23 years on May 6th. Laura Hawkins had stitches, but was thankfully not critically injured by the razor-sharp staple knife pressed to her throat, while husband Raymond miraculously escaped serious long-term injury during the violent robbery at the family home in Upminster. However, their son has been left with a permanent disability after trying to come to his dad's aid and getting shot in the shoulder. An emotional Raymond cried in court as Judge Patricia Lees handed his son a commendation from the High Sheriff of London for his outstanding bravery and selflessness in trying to protect his dad. Appearing at Snaresbrook Crown Court, Anthony Lascelles, 34, was told he must serve at least 18 years of his sentence in prison for his leading role. On May 1st, 2020, during the first national lockdown, one of the gang, Christopher Sargent, pretended to be a delivery driver and rang the bell at about 9:30 p.m. at the Hawkins family home in Kerry Drive, Buckminster, where they had lived for 15 years. In a shocking video taken from the family's doorbell camera, Sargent can be seen approaching the front door, dressed in a delivery driver uniform and carrying a parcel. As Raymond went to take the parcel, he was told no COVID, and Sargent placed it on the floor. Whilst bending down to retrieve it, he was violently attacked, with Sargent then running into the house with a knife, while three hooded figures, Lascelles and two other men who remain at large, followed with their weapons drawn. Prosecutor Alistair Richardson said on the 1st of May 2020, only a few weeks after the first national lockdown started, the Hawkins family were subjected to the sort of crime of our nightmares. Raymond and Laura Hawkins were at home with their 11-year-old son and 9-year-old daughter. A man arrived at their door pretending to be a delivery driver. Raymond opened the door to him. The man violently forced his way into the house, followed by three more men faces masked. They were all armed with knives. Those men attacked and robbed the Hawkins family. They pinned Raymond the father to the ground and stabbed him in the head. He lost consciousness. Anthony Lascelles and another of the robbers held a knife to Laura, the mother's throat, and forced her up to her bedroom in their hunt for cash and valuables. One of them even held a knife to their 11-year-old son's throat to threaten him and ensure the family complied with their demands. The men got some valuables, some jewellery, and three of them left. Anthony Lascelles became trapped in the house. Laura had heard her husband scream and then saw four men running in like animals, with Lascelles placing a staple knife to her neck and dragging her to the bedroom. The robbers were shouting, "Give me the cash," and "Where are the Rolexes?" Despite the fact that the family did not keep cash in the house, she received a knife wound to her neck, which required stitches, and was thrown face down onto the bed, leading her to think she would be hard. Meanwhile, Raymond was being violently beaten in the hallway, and it was at this point that one of the attackers put a knife to their son's throat. Eventually, three of the robbers ran out of the house, under the impression that the police had been called, while Lascelles remained in the bedroom. In her sentencing note, Judge Lees said that his decision to continue searching for money showed his level of determination and single-minded, ruthless conduct. After regaining consciousness, Raymond managed to lock the front door without realising that Lascelles remained inside. While running up the stairs to search for his wife, he encountered the defendant and a scuffle ensued. It was at this point that the 11-year-old boy went to his dad's defence and was ultimately shot in the shoulder as the couple's 9-year-old daughter hid under her bed and listened to her family being attacked. Lascelles then made his escape and fled to the home of A.J. Singh, who had organised the robbery but did not take part in it. Meanwhile, armed police arrived at the Hawkins home and the boy was rushed to hospital with a major trauma injury. He has been left with serious injuries and limited use of his arm as a consequence of the gunshot. The family lost £36,000 in jewellery and sentimental items. Following an extensive police investigation, Lascelles of Harold Hill was arrested and charged with causing grievous bodily harm with intent and robbery. He was acquitted of the first charge following a retrial as the jury could not prove that he had shown intent to injure his victim. Sargent pleaded guilty to robbery and Singh was later convicted of robbery after a trial. Another person was acquitted by a jury after initially being charged with assisting an offender, and the two others who took part in the robbery remain at large. No reason or motive has been provided for why the Hawkins family were targeted for the organised, ruthless and extremely violent robbery. The group had admitted to spending a substantial period of time outside the property ahead of the attack. In order to ensure that the number plates given to them matched the car on the driveway. Judge Lee said that it would have been clear to the robbers that this was a family home, and the 11-year-old boy was clearly visible through the living room window where he was playing Xbox. She continued, "It isn't clear to me why the Hawkins family were targeted, being a determined attack or a case of mistaken identity. One thing is certain, they were a completely innocent family whose lives have been shattered during those violent and long 10 minutes. You, together with others, caused and executed that attack, terrorizing that family. The family included 2 young children. Since the attack, the couple have moved house after enduring post-traumatic stress, which left them feeling unsafe and frightened. Judge Lee said there is no doubt that severe psychological trauma has been sustained by all 4 members of the Hawkins family, as well as physical injury. She stated that she was satisfied from text evidence that Lascelles had a leading role in the attack and that he had an unattractive and lengthy criminal record. Sentencing him, she said that he had proven himself a danger to the public with his willingness to take a leading role in a violent attack on an innocent family for financial gain. Sargent and Singh were jailed for 20 years and 25 years respectively at an earlier date, as well as the son getting a bravery award. A neighbour who offered first aid after he had been shot and who cared for the family in the aftermath was commended. They will attend a ceremony at a later date to receive their award.